All right, Raw after Mania did its job. It was a good show. I was like, it wasn't crazy. Well, I mean, it was sort of crazy. It wasn't like, I don't think like it wasn't ridiculous or nothing like that. But it also wasn't ooh ah. It wasn't nothing too left field. But it also wasn't boring. Which, to be honest, that's really what we're really trying to avoid out of anything is that it can't be boring. Like that's like other than stuff not making sense, it's really just boring. Cause most of the time it's always just a recap, and I don't mean like how like I'm doing a recap or other people do a recap. It's real like same beat, nothing happening, and then we get ready for backlash, which is the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't get that at all. First of all, I was like, I mean, the only thing I could say that probably was close to it, maybe that it just Triple H coming out and doing his whole spiel about being the greatest WrestleMania, you know, thanking you if the crowd pretty much was thanking the hell out of him. Um, yeah, no, that except for that, which I mean isn't bad. I was like, there's a lot of time. I mean, he might do it at SmackDown, but and then after that might be done. But they still in Philadelphia. That's really the whole thing. But then after that, he brought in Cody, and then he basically they had like a montage of Cody winning the title, like going through all this turmoil of just like from Stardust to Dash and Cody to his dad, and they just gave the whole waterworks of stuff. Cody out there pretty much. I like he thanked Roman, then The Rock came out, and to be honest, not much was really said. Rock really just came out there, and it felt for like 30 minutes that it was just everybody just tearing, like going to Rocky. Rocky sucks, boo Rocky, a hole, other stuff you had to bleep out. With all like Rock over here just cuts it straight up on TV. Um, yeah, no, I was like, basically, he just saying that he's going to be going away for a while. Congratulations on winning. But our story, Rock and Cody, is not over. Um, and basically also sort of alluded, like, Cody was basically like, hey, cause Rock is like, I'm your boss and that same thing. And Cody's like, I'm your champion. These people champion, and I'm your champion. And Rock made it sound like whether he had the title, like basically, like he did. So they exchanged titles, and he's like, "Oh, this looked good on me," sort of alluding to the fact that, hey, I'm gonna become for this title. But he also sort of alluded to in a way that's like, whether you have the title or not, we still gotta finish business. So we'll see how everything goes in the coming months and whatnot. But I think Rock gonna be gone for quite a while. Um, and then he gave Cody something we never seen it, and look, so far, every time Rock had did something like this, it's either it came to fruition or it's like some extra sauce or something that we just didn't know about, and which I feel like whatever it was with that meeting that Rock and Cody had about giving him the main spot, maybe they had all this stuff planned out, maybe not. But slowly but surely, it's like we're getting all that type of stuff revealed, and basically he's like, "Hey, like, don't break my heart again," kind of thing. And then Rock did bounce. Um, but yeah, yeah. So not much here. Um, I was like, other things is, I was like, we celebrated Rhea and Damien for basically holding on to the championships. Um, and then R-Truth popped up in there, like, I got y'all the championships back. And it was like, no, no, we're not doing this. And then it's like, how about us three versus y'all three? And they're like, we don't have three. It's like, yeah, but I was like, but you just can't see, but you can't see them. And everybody, so it was John Cena. John Cena basically came out to save, and they basically did his moves, and he bounced. It's really crazy to think that, man, nearly like 20 years ago, Cena and Miz fought for the championship at WrestleMania, which the Miz won, and the Miz is still wrestling and John Cena isn't. Which, I mean, John Cena went to sort of do bigger, better things. But the difference of like the wear and tear that John Cena compared to Miz that just looks like the Miz, pretty good. It's really weird. Um, I was like, we got some. I was like, we got man, man, I'm gonna have Ilya Dragunov. I believe that's his name from NXT coming up, fighting Shinsuke Nakamura. Of course, he won, but I think that was sort of like, kind of one is the Philadelphia crowd, so they're gonna know a lot more about NXT and these other wrestlers than if you would have did it in another town. Also showcasing NXT and stuff like that and the champions, and giving them good people to match up against. Like, for instance, they also had Roxanne Perez facing off of Indy Hartwell, and they sort of gave the backstory a little bit on each one. Like Ilya beat Gunther. Roxanne didn't get a chance to defend her championship before Indy won it, which technically also Indy didn't either because she broke her, she messed up her leg, so she didn't either. But going back to Ilya, he had basically a match with Shinsuke, which I thought was a pretty good. I mean, it sucks that Shinsuke just gonna have to eat pins, but they fight a similar type of style in a way where it's like it translates really well. But that move where he just hits him in the throat, that's devastating. That's crazy. The Roxanne Perez Indy thing I thought was pretty well done considering the fact that Roxanne Perez is a heel and Indy's in this weird little mix of a space where, like Roxanne gonna get the win because she got the NXT Women's Championship, but the how you do it because you also want to. So basically, Cancel Ray tries to interfere, and Indy sort of just like, I told you not to, and that basically causes Indy to lose, and Cancel's like, you get on my nerves. I told you, like, what you doing? Oh yeah. I already said I'm sure John Cena already won. Uh, Speaking of, like also I think what Raw sort of did was one, not be boring and continue storylines. Like we don't normally, and like not just continue storylines of like necessarily with the characters themselves, but continue storylines of like stuff before WrestleMania or continuing where it's just not the same old like hashtag Throwback Thursday type of stuff. For instance, Dom gonna go to talk down the priest about getting him back on Andrade. Rhea just chilling. Next thing you know, Liv just throws a chair at Rhea. Awesome. And then just start beating the hell out of Rhea, kicks her to the wall, and just start beating her. And we're continuing that storyline from last year, or well, not last year, but before WrestleMania. WrestleMania after that, it's like it's a new year. They're gonna do the draft at the end of the month. So we're gonna get that. I don't know if that's gonna be Rhea's first feud or this is gonna linger in the background. The reason I say that is because I don't know who Rhea really has to really match up against until we see how the draft goes. And I can see Liv them building this up in a way that Liv is the one to beat Rhea. Cause I'm like, since this is a revenge thing, Liv is sort of like Liv is one of those real weird characters because she is hot, and I don't mean that in that way, but she is hot that like people really like her, but everything else of her isn't hot or clicking. Like her character necessarily isn't. I'm like her right now isn't necessarily somebody you could see really beating Rhea. Like, yes, he can have a match against Rhea, but not beating Rhea. No. And I was like, and the story of revenge is like, okay, cool, but you need, but you need to see like if it's like more of a threat than like, oh, you broke my arm, kind of thing. So they give it a little bit of time. Then Liv could look like somebody that's like she's the one that beats Rhea Street when Rhea caught lacking or something like that. Let's see what I was like. What other thing did we get? We got Sami Zayn coming out. Basically talking about him winning the championship and stuff. Imperial comes out. I was like, Gable comes out to help him make the save after they start beating up on him, and they get the win. And we're gonna get Sammy and Chad Gable next week. Gable is gonna lose. Cause I was like, especially it's in Sammy's hometown as well too. Let's see. I was like, yeah, I was like I said, it wasn't boring. It just, but I was like, which that's all I could really say or take out of it. Let's just sort of go to the last part of it. Is there was a fatal 4-way match? Bronson Reed, Jey Uso, Drew McIntyre, and Ricochet. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Not that I wanted him to win but I thought Ricochet was gonna win. Jey Uso gets the win basically through like it was a fun match. I was like, you basically had like the speed of like Uso and Ricochet versus the strength of Bronson Reed and Drew McIntyre. I was like, it was crazy. Ricochet did a 420 from basically the ropes to Bronson Reed on the announcer's table, which took them out, which had Drew and Jay beating each other. I was like, Drew beating up Jay, and Drew about to go for the Claymore. Look like he about to get the win. And then CM Punk comes out of nowhere, grabs his leg. Drew turns to confront him, and CM Punk is like, I got you twice. And then you know, Jay gave him a kick, a splash, win. And that was pretty much, and that was over. That was it. Yeah, no. And the reason I say that is because Jay got the number one contendership against Damian Priest. We know he's not going to win against Damian Priest. So I like, it's one of the things where I'm like, okay, he's not going to win. So put somebody in there. Like, you can't put Drew right now because Drew still got the stuff with CM Punk. Drew got the stuff with, and he got Damian Priest. That's later on in the wings. I was like, Bronson Reed. I was like, it's really because it's like two heels in a way that kind of just like, that would be a good match. But I was like, you got to give Bronson Reed a little bit more. I mean, not necessarily because he was going to fight Seth Rollins at 11 Chamber. I was just doing a couple of promos. But that one just doesn't mix well with me. So it was like, okay, cool. Damian Priest is a really big dude that could throw hard punches. I was like, Ricochet. Because I was like, Ricochet, while being on a hot streak, you could see him sort of being like, oh, he getting a main title match, but you know he's not going to win, but it's fine. He got his winning streak. And it's like, for him getting a shot, it's sort of like, okay, cool. That's doing something with him compared to like somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a push. That's considered more of a push than someone else. Jay, I'm like, him losing again, that's where it started saying like, okay, or what is we gonna really do with Jay? To be honest, I think at some point I think he's gonna beat Sammy. I think that's who Sammy's gonna lose to. But just because you could tell, like, you could probably do a friendly battle type of way. I just thought it's weird for Damian Priest to have that be his first match, but hey, whatever. I was like, it's gonna be a good match regardless. Also, I was like, Jay Cargill came out to squash Chelsea, which is like cool, just in there to squash, and Chelsea's a name enough to have some recognition with it. That is not, it's not a job or nothing like that, but also doesn't do much. But I was like, but you get to show her out. So I'm fine with it. I was like, we'll see how she does in anything else that we do. Also, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know Ava, who's a Rock's daughter, is the NXT general manager. Didn't know that, but cool. I'm like, okay, so that's what her role's gonna be. Like, anyway, and also weird too that I'm like, I didn't know just how it's been, but it's also weird that she is, being the Rock's daughter, that she's already in this position. I'm just saying, storyline thing, but they're not going to probably connect that at all. Anyway, but yeah, I was like, nothing else really comes to mind. I was like, considering, even though I watched this not too long ago, but like I said, it was good. It wasn't bad. I was like, it was fun. I was like, it just really wasn't nothing to. Couple storyline progress. It's fine. But yeah, no. I was like, it was good. I was like, except for, no uh qualms about anything except for maybe like Ricochet in there compared to Jay. But I thought it was cool the NXT champions got in there for a couple matches. I do think that at some point the Awesome Truth is going to lose to the Judgment Day, so the Judgment Day can have the gold. I think they're going to try to have them have the gold like Bloodline did at some point to sort of build them up before they start getting. Because cause I felt kind of like Rhea's going to lose the title not too long from here, and I think they're probably going to they might have Damien keep it a little bit longer than her so that he could be the one with the title because he hasn't been that with nobody else, or they could lose around the same time and you can start seeing like the Judgment Day crumble by the end of the year kind of thing. Because I'm pretty sure they're going to break that fashion up and stuff like that. But anyway, that's Raw recap. Look at all that stuff, all that jazz. How you doing today? Yeah, anyway, till next Raw.